Go. Okay, so for this chair flying exercise, we are going to do the RAL to departure to Paradise. We're going to proceed outbound on radial 190, maintain a 4 DME arc to radial 110, continue inbound to Paradise. Then we'll hold at Paradise northwest on the published airway, left turns. Then we're going to do a lap in the hold. We'll exit the hold, assume vectors to Chino, ILS 26 right. Maybe we'll think about whether we're going to do vectors or maybe fly the full approach. We can think through that in the air. And then on the go, we're going to end up doing KRAL RNAV 9er full stop. And we'll decide whether or not that's going to be a circle to land or a straight in. All right. So we'll just start with we'll start on the runway. So lights, camera, action. I'm gonna go lights are on, fuel pump on, mixture rich, adding a little bit of power, rolling onto the runway. Finals clear, flaps are set for takeoff. I'm on center line. All right, engines look green. I'm adding full power. Airspeed's alive, power is set, engines are still green. RPM is looking like 2200 and building. That's what I want to see. All right, airspeed coming up to our rotation. All right, there's 60 knots. RPM look good. Rotate, pitching up to 12 degrees nose up. That's my VY pitch attitude. All right, maintain that attitude. Got it established, and my airspeed is at now VY of 76. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it out for the climb at 76. I'm coming on up, looking like there's 400 AGL, and so I'm going to turn my left turn on the Riverside to departure. I guess I should have the plate up. I won't because I know it by this point, but you'd have the plate up. We're gonna make my left turn at 400 AGL, which is 1200 MSL, to heading 255. And I'm flying heading 255, continuing my climb. Okay, looks like I'm at let's just say 1500. So now I know if I have an engine failure, I'll be turning back to the runway. Okay, through 1500. There's 1800, that's 1000 AGL. So climb checklist, fuel pump off, flaps clean, engine looks good, airspeed, there's my 76 still. Continuing to climb out. I'm waiting for the needle to come alive because we're looking for that radial 030 to Paradise for our departure procedure. Okay, I've got the needle is alive, and I'm waiting for 030 to the station, which is 210 tuned in on Paradise. Okay, needle's almost centered. I'm gonna start my turn. Now I've intercepted 030 to Paradise. Okay, I'm continuing to Paradise. I know that I'm starting to think about my DME arc I've got coming up. When I get to Paradise, currently on the 030, I'm going to be proceeding outbound on the 190, so that's going to be a couple degrees to the left. I'm going to turn just a couple degrees to the left. Okay, I'm in the cone of confusion. All right, I'm crossing over, starting my turn. There's 190. I'm going to twist that in. Got 190, like bearing, like heading. I'm heading 190, bearing is 190. I'm going to keep flying this until I get to about 3.4, at which point I will make my left turn 90 degrees. So let me draw this out. I've got my heading is 190. Normally I'd be able to look at it and it'd be a little bit easier, but in this case, 190 minus 100, 090 plus 10, 100. So I'm going to be turning left to a heading of 100, left turn, and then my subsequent turn will be left, and then my subsequent turn inbound will be left. So it's all three left turns. My initial heading is going to be 100. Okay, I'm still flying outbound, got it centered on 190. All right, continuing on. Okay, we're at 3.4. I'm going to start leading that turn to the left. Okay, heading bug over to 100. My left turn, standard rate, that's about 15-degree bank. It's going to give me my standard rate turn to 100. All right, I'm on, and I've turned 90. I'm going to twist 10. So my OBS, I'm twisting to the left 10 degrees. All right. And now I'm waiting for that to come to center up. Looks like my DME is right on 4 miles. Okay, the needle is center, so now I'm going to turn 10. There's my turn, heading bug 10, and now twist my OBS 10. Okay, to the left. Going to keep flying this now. DME still looks good at 4 miles. Okay, turn, and I'm centered, so I'm going to turn 10, twist my heading bug, and twist my OBS left 10. Okay, looks like my DME's coming outside the arc a little bit. I'm at 4.3, let's just say. So on this next one, I'm going to turn 15, twist 10. Okay, my needle is centered. I'm turning 15, and I'm twisting 10. Turned my heading bug 15, twisting my OBS 10. Okay, I'm going to fly until I've got the needle centered. There it is. I'm not really able to keep track of how many I'm on, but let's just say that I'm now on the, going to the 110. I'm now on the 130, so I've got 2 more to go. I'm just going to write that down. I'm going to turn 15, and I turn my heading bug 15, twist 10. All right, my DME is coming back in. I'm now on the 120, and all right, now that's centered. I'm going to turn. I'm going to go ahead and twist to 110, and then I'm going to tap it so that I can get, because 110 is going away from it, so I'm actually going to turn to the left to the station, so I need a bearing to the station, the reciprocal of 110, so that's going to be plus 200 minus 20, so that'd be 310, 290. So I've got 290 tuned in. I started my turn right away. Let me explain this a little bit better, actually. When I got to 120 and I twisted in the 110, I could see that the needle was centering, getting close to centering already, so I'm starting my turn 90 degrees immediately, because I know it takes me about that long for the needle to center. You're tracking with me on that? Yeah. Okay, and then I tap it and I clean it up, make sure it's at 290. Okay, now I am I'm centered on. I've intercepted the 290. 2 Paradise. I'm continuing inbound. I know that I'm approaching Paradise for my hold. We decided we're going to hold at Paradise northwest, left turns. So northwest is going to be on Victor 197. So Victor 197 is the 292 radial. So I'm going to draw it out. I've got 292 like this, left turns. So my outbound heading is 292. My inbound course is going to be 112. So yeah, we really are right on the border of teardrop or parallel. So I know that if I'm on the border of teardrop, between teardrop and parallel, or on the border of direct and teardrop, I'm going to choose teardrop. So if I'm choosing teardrop, I want to pick my Lars heading. It's left turns, so I'm going to add 30 degrees to my outbound heading, which is 292. So my initial heading is going to be 322. I'm going to write that down or just set my heading bug, either way, 322. All right, I'm approaching Paradise. Okay, I'm crossing Paradise, turning to a heading of 322. There it is. Start my timer, and I'm going to twist in my inbound course of 112 on my OBS. Okay, I've got my inbound course set. I'm flying my Lars heading for a minute, and this is left turns. Okay, there's a minute. Now I'm going to start my left turn to intercept my inbound course. Okay, it's working out pretty well. I've intercepted my inbound course. I'm going to restart the timer, and I'm going to track my inbound course to Paradise. Okay, there's Paradise. I'm going to get my left turn going to outbound heading of 292. By the way, if you notice that I forget anything at any point, feel free to chime in. Okay. Outbound heading of 292. Okay, once I'm a beam, my hold point, or my hold fix, I'm going to have to do this super quick. Right there. When I'm a beam my hold fix, I'm going to start my timer. I know that I'm going to beam my hold fix when, in this case, since I'm holding at a VOR, when the flag flips. Okay, the flag flipped, start my timer. I'm tracking outbound on the 292. All right, there's a minute. I'm going to start my turn to the left to intercept my inbound course back to the station. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start thinking about our approach into Chino, ILS 26 right. So first thing I want to do is my setup flow. As I do that, oh, I don't have these binders. This is my other iPad. I have your problem.
Okay.
The 2 iPad problem now. Okay, let me pull it up. Chino. So we're gonna, let's just assume that let's see. One thing we could, let's actually, since we're going to Paradise, let's assume we're gonna do the full procedure since we have it. So I'm on the 112 still. I know that I wanna do the Chino ILS 26 right, and there is a feeder route from Paradise to Casby. So let's just say that we're gonna do that full procedure. So I'm now approaching Paradise. I'm gonna turn to 052. If you wanna pull up the plate. Oh, it's okay. If you wanna just visualize that. Okay, I'm going outbound on the 052 from Paradise. Okay, with my approach setup flow, let's see, do I have time to get the ATIS? Let's say, yeah, I've got time. I'll get ATIS now. So I'm gonna tune in 125.85. I'm gonna get the ATIS for Chino. Sounds like they've got information Bravo. The winds are favoring 26. Their ILS runways 26 left and 26 right are in use. Landing and departing runways 26. Okay.
And you put 125.85 in radio 2?
Calm 2.
Calm 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Good. Yeah, very good. Good detail. Yes, so I put 125.85 in Calm 2. We've got current information there. So now on to the approach, my setup flow. So ATIS approach. I've got my plate pulled up already. I'm going to go ahead and load it in the G1000. So let's say we're going to do procedure. I'm going to go to select approach. I'm going to use the big knob to go down to select approach, press enter. Maybe it popped up on a different approach, so I'm going to go up to the airport. I'm going to do small knob back, big knob forward to nearest. I'm going to choose Chino. Okay, now I've got Chino, so now I'm going to go big knob down to the approach that I want, we decided we're doing ILS 26 right. Double check that I'm putting in ILS 26 right. Okay, press enter for ILS 26 right. Go down, set the minimums for baro. We know that we're doing a straight in approach, so it's going to be ILS 886. Minimums are 886. So we're going to say 890. I'm going to use the little knob, twist it all the way over, 890. Press enter. I'm going to, I'm going to choose my transition. I'm going to choose Paradise for my transition because we are in fact using that transition. So I'm going to press enter, enter. Okay, it's loaded. It's now got me going from Paradise to Casby. Okay, approach is now loaded and verify that it looks good on the MFD. Looks good. Okay, I'm going to load my comms now. So I've got 12585 already in COM 2. COM 1, I want to make sure I've got 118.5 in COM 1, and I'm talking to SoCal on probably 125.5. This says 125.4. That's okay. And so I've got my comm set up straight on over to navs. For navs, I know that I want 111.5 for nav 1. That's the Chino localizer. And then I'm going to go to, for nav 2, I want Paradise to identify Casby and Linden and Dewey and such. I'm going to choose Paradise and not Homeland because Paradise is going to be the station that will provide my inbound course for that course reversal at Casby. So we're going to stick with Paradise, not going to worry about Homeland. Navs are set. I don't need any others for missed approach. And I'm continuing on the 052, and now I have got my marker beacons, don't need them. Timer, pull it up, minimums are good, and CDI, we've got nav 2 currently active because I'm tracking 052 from Paradise. Okay, I do want to know when I've arrived at Casby though, so I am going to have my, in this case, the only way that I can do it is to have, is to just cycle between nav 1 and nav 2 on the CDI. So I know I've got nav 1 tuned to 255 for the Chino localizer, and I've got nav 2 on the 052 that I'm currently on. So I'm going to keep flying 052, cycle between nav 1 and nav 2 until I see that I'm on, I've centered the localizer, meaning I'm at Casby. Are you with me on that? Okay, but as I approach Casby, I want to think about how I'm going to enter to perform that course reversal. I know that I'd like to do a teardrop, so looks like the outbound heading is 052. It's right turns, so I'm going to subtract 30 degrees from that. 022 is going to be my heading. I'll go ahead and put my heading bug on that now. Okay, I am at Casby, turning to heading 022, and I'm starting my timer for a minute, flying for a minute. Okay, turning right. As I'm flying 022 for a minute, I've twisted my inbound course to 232 for that course reversal. And now I've gone a minute, I'm turning right because it's right turns. I'm intercepted the 232, and now I'm on the 232. I can pretty much just switch over to nav 1 now and fly this to intercept the localizer. Okay, localizer is centering, so I'm turning to roughly heading 255. Got it centered. Okay, I'm going to start briefing the approach now. I've got about 6 miles till Linden. So let's just say I'm at 4,000 feet. I'll hold this altitude until the glide slope, until I capture the glide slope and follow that down. I've got ILS Chino 26 right pulled up. I've got current ATIS. I've got tower put in. Ground frequency, we don't need it in this case. Chino localizer 111.5, that's correct. Final approach course 255, correct. ILS DA is going to be 886. I've got 890 tuned in. Airport elevation is 650 feet. Looks like my glide slope intercept altitude is 2,100. So when I'm at Dewey, I should be at 2,100 feet if I'm on the glide slope. Okay, missed approach. Let's just say that we're gonna fly out westbound and get back with SoCal and pick up our next approach. Let's say those are the missed approach instructions they gave us. Okay, I'm still tracking my 255 localizer towards Linden. I'll know I'm at Linden when I've got a cross radial of 020 from Paradise. So let's set my heading bug for that. There it is. And now, boom, we're at Linden. We've got 020. Now I'm looking for Dewey of 334. Set my heading bug for that. All right, I'm approaching. I'm 3 miles from Dewey, so let's do our before landing checklist. B-gumps, brakes, toe pressures feel good. Parking brakes off. Gas, fuel pump is on. Undercarriage is fixed. Mixture, full rich. Props, no factor. Seats and seat belts are locked and loaded. B-gumps is complete. We've now see that the glide slope is alive and we are centered up on the glide slope. So we're going to bring our bring our power to 1800, pitch for level with the horizon, and this should give me about a 3-degree glide slope to stay on that glide slope. And this is a standard 3-degree glide slope for this ILS because it's there on the plate next to the times to the missed approach point. It says glide slope 3 degrees. So 1800 RPMs, pitch level, 90 knots. Keep tracking that glide slope all the way down. All right, I'm at Dewey because I see 334 cross radial. So I'm gonna turn, no, we're already turned, twinkle, I'm on the correct nav 1, twinkle, turn, twist. I'm going to twist my minimums down to 890 and no other twisting required. Twinkle, turn, twist, time, start it, throttle, it's already set, tires, B-gumps is done. Let's get our 10 degrees of flaps in though for our landing configuration for tires. And talk, okay, let's go ahead and make a call with Chino Tower on 118.5. Chino Tower, we're inbound on the localizer, or ILS 26 right, crossing Dewey. Okay, I'm making my corrections for my glide slope with power, and I'm making my corrections for my airspeed with pitch. Okay, I want to try to, the second I notice that it's trending in one direction, the moment I notice a trend, I'm going to jump on that so I can just make small little corrections and I'm not waiting till big corrections are required. Okay, keep following it down. I am looking for my 890 foot minimums. Keep it coming. All right, I am at 890 going missed, so I'm going to cram full power, climb, bring my nose up to VY attitude, clean. I'm going to lower the flaps. As I do that, I need to bring a little bit of back pressure on the yoke so the nose doesn't drop, and I can keep my VY pitch attitude. Cram, climb, clean, click. May or may not be able to click it right now, might have to wait a second. And call, Chino Tower, Joust 33, going missed. And climbing out, and okay, and I definitely can click. I'm going westbound, and last C, climb checklist. Now I'm at 1000 AGL, so fuel pump is off, flaps are clean, engine looks clean, and looks good, and airspeed is as appropriate, VY. Okay, I'm back on with SoCal, and as I'm waiting to talk to them, I'm immediately working on my approach setup flow, straight into it, no wasted time. We're going to hold on the ATIS because I know I still need to talk to SoCal. I'm just going to start working on loading that approach in right off the bat. So I'm going to go select approach. I'm going to go up to Riverside, or to the airport. I'm going to go little knob back and forward to nearest, down to KRAL, enter, go down. I know I'm doing the RNAV 9er into Riverside, press enter, transition. We're going to do vectors this time, minimums. Let me pull up the plate actually. Oops. Minimums. Normally I'd have these plates organized so it'd be a little easier to pop up, but different approach, or different iPad. Okay, so right now we're just going to assume that we're going straight in, and actually no, we'll just hold off on the minimums. We won't put in the minimums yet. We don't need to. So we're going to leave the minimums. I'm going to press enter. All right, it's loaded. I'm now talking to SoCal. Hey, we're westbound, back with you, climb into 3000, and we'd like the RNAV 9er into Riverside full stop. Okay. They want us to fly heading, let's just say 180 for sequence, turning heading 180. All right, straight on over now, resuming my setup flow to the comms. So I've got tower 121.0 tuned in. I'm talking to SoCal still on 125.5. I've got ATIS in on COM 2, 128.8, and we'll go ahead and put in our ground frequency 124.125 on COM 2 as well, since we will be landing there. Comms are set. Nav, we're doing RNAV, so I shouldn't need any cross radials. So I also don't need a final approach course of any kind. I can put in Homeland for the missed approach if we want to, just for fun. That's 112.05. Let's go ahead and tune that into navs. Okay, marker beacon, don't need them. And timer, pull it up, and CDI, switch it to GPS. And since we are on vectors, I can activate vectors to final. So if I didn't activate it the first time by hitting, and I hit load, which I could have activated it right then and there because we were already on vectors. But let's say that I forgot and just hit load. Now I can go to procedure, hit activate vector to final. It's going to put that extended final approach course onto the MFD for me. And so I'm just going to fly my vectors now. Don't worry about those. Okay, they've got me turning to a heading, back to a heading of 270. Okay, I do have time to go ahead and get the ATIS now, so let's do it. COM 2, 128.8, let's listen. Okay, information Charlie, ILS, runway 9er in use, landing and departing runway 27. Okay, so runway 27 is where we're going to be circling then to land, so I know that I need to put in my circling minimums. So under the timer window, I can go big knob down, little knob for minimums, put in 1340 for my circle to land minimums. Okay, got those minimums set. SoCal approach, we've got Charlie for Riverside. Roger, thanks. Okay, they want us to turn to heading 360. Vectors for the final approach course, and everything else is set up. I can start briefing the plate though. I've got RNAV Niner Riverside. RNAV Niner Riverside is loaded on the G1000. I've got ATIS Riverside 121.0, ground 124, 125. Final approach course 089, that looks right. XPAM is the final approach fix. Glide slope intercept altitude will be 2,500. Minimum's 1340. Airport elevation is 819. I know that from my pre-flight planning, I know that the pattern at Riverside for runway 27 is left turns, so I can expect to circle south for that. Turn right heading 120 to intercept the final approach course. Your practice approach is approved. Maintain separation. Maintain VFR. No separation services are provided. Roger. Heading 120 to intercept final. Practice approach approved. Okay. My missed approach in this case would be a climbing straight out to 6,000 direct to GCUB. The G1000 will handle that for me. This is our RNAV approach. Okay, the final approach course is centering, and so I'm going to turn to heading 089, intercepting the final approach course. I'm tracking that now. Okay, I'm a couple miles from XPAM, so let's do our V-gumps, brakes, toe pressure feels good. Park and brake off, gas, fuel pump on, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, props not needed, seatbelt switches, locked and loaded switches are set as needed. So lights are as needed, as required for the lighting conditions. V-gumps is done. I'm approaching XPAM. Okay, there's XPAM because my G1000 tells me it's RNAV approach. So 7 T's, twinkle, I'm on GPS, turn, not needed, twist down to my minimums of 1340, time, not needed, it's RNAV. Throttle, oh yes, we are on our glide slope, so throttle should be at 1800 RPMs. Pitch for level, that should give me my 90 knots. And tires, V-gumps is done. I'm gonna not put any flaps for my landing configuration because we're doing a circle to land. So I choose not to, some people do. And talk, let's go ahead and once SoCal hands us off to tower, we can make a call. Okay, they handed us off. Riverside Tower, Joust 33, inbound, RNAV Niner, full stop. Okay, they said they want us to expect a circle north. Okay, we'll expect a right downwind for runway 27, non-standard. Okay, I'm approaching my minimums of 1340. There's my minimum, 1340. I'm gonna level off actually at 50 feet above that, 1390, split the difference. So I was anticipating the 1340 leveling off ahead of that, and make sure I don't go below 1340 or above 1440. Got -0 plus 100 standards. And then I am circling north, so this is a little bit of a left turn. I'm now visual, and I'm gonna maintain my 1.3 miles from the runway, and just gonna go ahead and continue to land visually, and that's about all we need to worry about in this moment with this chair flying exercise.
Nice.
So
That's good.
cool. That's a lot.